So as you can see, the Excel document is pretty messed up here. You can't really see the words very well. You can see that it says mark here, but then over here it just says Marl. So we need to fix our Excel so that we can see everything and it's laid out really nicely. So the first thing you're going to do is, if you have a Mac computer, click Command A to select everything. And then you're gonna do it again so that it'll just make sure it selects the whole document. Then you're going to go to wrap text, which will sort of center everything into its own cell. Next, you're going to go to Format and click Auto Row Height and do Format again and click Auto Fit Column Width. So now things are starting to look a little bit better, but it's still super squishy here, and you can't see that that says assignment all in one word. So we need to spread out our columns. So you're going to take one of the lines in this green section up here and just drag it over a little bit. Still not quite big enough, so do it again. Could probably go some more. That's pretty good. If you scroll down, the names are all fitting in the columns, but we are not centered here, so if you click the center button, it'll just make sure everything's centered and nice and beautiful. And now you can see all the words and all the numbers, and it looks lovely. Okay, so say you need a little bit more space where the names are over here. You can do the same thing that you did at the top to make it wider over here with the names. So let's just select the names. So you're gonna click at the 3 where Abigail starts, and then just drag down to select all the names here. I haven't selected assignments or marks because I don't want to make them any bigger. Now, like I did before, I can click one of these lines in the green column and just drag it down to make it a little bit bigger. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to be taking you guys through how to merge and center text. So more specifically, the titles here, we're going to make sure that assignment 1 goes across the 50 marks, the percentage, and then out of 10, because that's everything for assignment 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to select columns B through D, and then go up to the top here and literally just click merge and center, and it's going to make it look a lot nicer. So we're going to go through and do that for all the top columns. So now obviously these are all really spaced out, so what we're going to do is make it smaller. So we're going to select the entire document, and then we're going to drag from D over. So we're going to make it, you can see there it shifts the entire document, so it's a little bit smaller. So we're going to make it maybe just a little bit bigger there. And there, now it's more appealing to the eye. And the next thing I'm going to show you is if you have just something that's in one column and you want to make it fit so you can read it a little bit better, we're going to change the way it's, so instead of going horizontally, we're going to go vertically with the words. So you're going to select it, you're going to right click, go to Format Cells, and then you're going to go to Alignment here, and under degrees, we're just going to make it 90 degrees, or you can make it negative 90 degrees and it can read down or upwards. So we're going to have it read upwards. So there you can see that final mark is now vertically. And then we're going to drag this down and we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And there you can see the final mark is now fully vertical. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here and we're going to make a section for the totals. So what we're going to do is select, so we're going to click number 23 and it's going to take us all the way across the entire document, and we're going to drag all the way over to column AC, which is where we finished up with final marks. And you're going to select cell styles, and let's make it blue here. So the blue will have all the totals, and then we're going to select the next three for the calculations of mean, median, and mode, and go across over to AC. Make sure we have 3, hit cell styles, and we're just going to hit calculation here, and then that way we'll be able to put in our calculations, which Brandon will be taking you through.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and saving time on calculations and letting the Excel do for you. So as teachers, we're always trying to type in our calculator and try and figure out everyone's final marks or marks. Excel will do that for you. That's sort of the whole purpose of this, is just to save you time on your calculations. And then we'll be looking into specific calculations and avoiding errors if you run into those issues. And then conditional formatting, so highlighting areas where people are having troubles and seeing where your students are going wrong. First thing we need to do is just add our totals. So as you can see here, it's out of 50 marks, percentage is out of 100, and our final mark is out of 10. It's worth 10%. So we'll put 50 marks. Just the number though, we just want the number. It'll create errors if you put words in it when you're working with numbers, so you just want the number. 100%, and it's worth 10%. So now we're going to do that. Best thing about this is you can just copy and then paste, and we'll do that the whole way across. But be careful because not all these are worth 50 marks and 10%, so we can change that. But at least what we have is the 100% one. So this is 20 marks, and we will change all those. Okay, so as you guys can see is I've put all of them in, so you guys can just put them through. So I just went through while we edited it here and put all the numbers. So 100%, this is out of 15, I put 15. 150 marks, I put 150, just so you guys can go through and do that as you can. For these guys, this is going to be the mean, median, and mode, and you guys will be doing that with Brandon. But now we're going to actually input our data and do some calculations. So the first one I have here, as you can see, now as you can see up here, it looks a little confusing. So I'm gonna go through that and show you what that really means. So what we're going to do is we're going to go equals, and we want to find the percentage of Abigail here. So it equals, well, she got 38 out of 50, so 38, and we can say out of 50 and then times 100 because it's percent. Now we can do that. So we do that, and then the best thing about this is when you drag it down, it does all of their percentages. So now all your calculations are done. You don't have to worry about it, and it's no worry at all. Now, what's even better to make your calculations even better is if we try and do this for here, you'd have to do and type this every single time. So B3 divided by 50, and then this one would have to be divided by 20. So we can change this 50 here and change it to B, and where do I have the mark is right here. So it's B23, so B23. Hit 100, and now so B23 times 100. So there we go, perfect. So B23 times 100, you hit enter, and she got 76. Now we're going to drag this down, and there's going to be an issue. So do this, and now we get this error. So what it's trying to do is B3 divided by B24. So see how this B23 is 50. But now it's going, when you go down, it's B24, 25, 26. So it's going down with the data. So it's going into these columns, but there's nothing there. So that's the problem. So to be able to stick to your total, all you have to do is put a shift 4, so a $sign. So you do that, and it will stay on B23. So we're going to drag that down. That's all you have to do is just put a $sign, drag it down, and done. There you go. So now, as you can see, here is it's B23 the whole time, and your marks are just changing as you go through each student. So there you go. Now this one is not so bad. So again, the same calculation. We're going C3, so that's Abigail's mark or percent, and we want to get it out of 10. So I did it where it was C3 times 10% times it's out of 10, but then you want to go 0.1 again. That way it makes it 7.6 out of 10. If you just do it once, 10% out of it, it's going to give you 76, and that's not what you want. So you just times it by 0.1. These stars here, I'm getting them by going Shift 8 on a Mac. Okay. So again, all you have to do is just drag it down, and I am getting a 0 error. So how we fix that is we just put a $, at the D23 because we want to stick to that 10 number and not go down. So because as you can see here, it's D23, but then it's going down to D7. So hit enter, and now it's 7.6. Drag it down, and there we go. So perfect. Now you guys, this is the best part, is when you get to all the marks, you just copy and paste it. And you just want to double check your marks. Just make sure you know, just to see if the calculations and the coding's right. But so 18 out of 20, 90%, and 4.5, that seems to be correct. And now you don't have to do any corrections. So you just copy and paste. If you get these ugly numbers, you can just hit this right, or sorry, the other way. Hold on, you just highlight it, and you just get rid of those, and that looks a little more appealing. So yeah, again, copy, paste, and now you have all their percentages and all their final marks right here, their final marks out of 20 or out of 15, and you don't have to do any of those calculations. It's all done for you. So it's great that way. And then lastly, the final mark, as you can see here. So I know the final mark can be issuing because you're trying to do all the percentage and add them all up. Well, now all I have to do is just take the sum of all my final marks. So as you can see here, I just took the number, the final mark of each test, and that's all. So I'll show you how I did that. So I did equals the sum, so we're taking the sum, so equals sum, bracket, and then I just went through hold command, and then just click all the ones right here for Abigail. We're just doing Abigail. All the ones. And hit enter. And there you go. So her final mark is 68.2%. That would be her final mark. And then, again, you don't have to do any of their marking. It does it all for you. So Jordan got an 88, which is perfect. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to drag this down, and I hit 100, so perfect. So now I know that all these final marks are correct, they're accurate, because I've covered 100% of the course. So this is taking 100% of the grade, it's using the same formulas, and it's just adding, if I look, it's adding those final marks for each assignment. So enter out of that, and perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is conditional formatting. So this is the last thing. So in the full one, you can see all of these wonderful colors here, and you're seeing where students are having trouble. So I marked them red, so they got 34% on that assignment, and yellow is about a D or a C, and anything a B or higher, I marked it green. So we're going to learn how to do that with our data here. So the easiest one I picked was percentage because it's all out of 100. It's always out of 100, whereas 50 marks out of 50, it gets hard. So we're going to pick something. So what you can do is, so you click and you highlight all the percents for this assignment. And then if you have a Mac, you're going to hold Command and click. And then you can Command click and then you can drag again, or if you have a PC you hit Control. Same sort of thing. If you lose it, that's okay. You just click and drag again. Click and drag again, and you can hold Command the whole time just so you're not losing it. So you just hold it. So there. So as you can see, I've highlighted them all. I've highlighted that. You can do it individual, but then it gets to be a lot of work. So I've highlighted them all, and now I'm going to go up to conditional formatting right there, and highlight cell rules, and then I'm going to say between. You can pick whichever, like greater than 50%, but I'm going to say between. So now I'm going to do the cell values between 1, not 0. 0, it gets to be some issues. We don't want to do 0. So 1 and 50, we'll do 50, and we're going to mark that red. So that's going to be a problematic. So we'll highlight that. And then we're going to also, so it's still highlighting, so you don't have to highlight it every time, which is perfect, saves you time. We're going to do between, and I'm going to say 51. I can't say 50 because I already used 50. And 69. So that's going to be marked yellow. That's an OK region. And then lastly, we're going to do it one more time. So conditional formatting between, and we'll do 70 and 100. And we're going to mark that green. Don't mark it red. And good. So now you can visually see where your students are at. What's a problem? You can even mark something that's like 24%, like Amy here on her first assignment. You can mark that black or whichever, and really try and figure out where she went wrong. So yeah, so that's all of that, and now you guys will be doing mean median mode.
Okay, now we're going to be looking at how to get the mean, median, and mode of the data set. So first thing you want to do is start at the top and move all the way to the bottom here where it says mean, and you're going to punch in equals, and then average. You're going to scroll down and click on where it says average. Once you've done that, you're going to click on your first student. You're going to see how it highlights. You're going to drag it all the way up to the top to your first student. There we go. And now you're going to click enter and see how it now shows the mean is 35.1 out of all your students. Now for the median, it's very similar. You want to click on the spot right here. You're going to punch in equals median, and you see how it pops up, and you click on it. And same thing, you're going to click on the first name here and drag it all the way up to the top. And now you press enter. And now the median is 38. And for the mode, I'm going to do a similar thing as well, equals mode. Click on where it says mode and highlight the data set again. And press enter. So now we have the mean, median, mode for this data set, and the really cool part is if you select all three of these and drag it across the bottom all the way to the end of the data set here, it's going to fill every single one in on your chart. So now you have the mean, median, mode for every single data set on your Excel sheet. And that's how you get the mean, median, mode. Okay, now we're going to be looking at how we can freeze and unfreeze the columns so that you can see specific data that you don't want to lose when you go over to the side. So the top panel here you might want to be able to see at all times, so assignment 1, assignment 2. So see, as I scroll down you aren't able to see it anymore. So to prevent that from happening, you're going to click on that panel, the top panel here, and hit freeze top row, right here where I'm clicking. And now when you scroll down, that section will stay fixed in that position, and you're able to see which each assignment is as you scroll down. Now if you want to undo that, you just click unfreeze there. And now if you want to have the name stay in their specific spot, you're going to come up here to the top, so click on that sidebar, come over to freezed first column, and you're going to click on that, and now every name is going to stay in a specific spot, which is really helpful when you're going across the data set here. Then you're able to see every single person's data and their name, so it doesn't get confusing. Okay, so if you want to undo that, click the unfreeze button again. Now if you want to get the top column and the name column to all sync up together, and along with the marks and percent bar, you're going to come right over here to where it says 38, and you're going to click on that because it's going to take into account both of these columns. And you come up to the freeze panels, and you're going to click on it, and now as you see, it included both the assignments, the marks panel, and the name panel. So now as you scroll across, you can see the names, and you can also see which marks you're looking at, the percent, and how much it's weighted. So a really helpful trick so that you're not constantly frustrated trying to look across like this, how I'm doing it right now, and you aren't able to see the names or the assignments or where it's weighted. Hope that helps.